Yo, what's up, guys? Hopefully everything sounds okay on the mic. Hopefully we're all having a good day. I don't know how many people are going to be in this because it's still during school time, but I figured I'd rather start earlier in the day because I know that King of Lightning and Roger are doing their videos and live reactions. I don't know if Roger is. Roger might or might not be doing it today. I think it might be Friday. Regardless, I know people are going to be busy today with videos, so I figured that a stream in the middle of the day would kind of be in between. Brago did say that he wanted to do a discussion stream later on tonight, but that usually means it's not going to happen. So, but just in case, I plan the stream right now. So thanks for dropping by, JDB. What's up, Demi, Yorick, Badger, Godhand? How's everyone doing? Streaming at an acceptable time for Europeans. I gotta give some love to you guys too. I'm just stopping by to drop a like for the culture, and then I have to click back into work. Catch y'all later. Like the stream heathens. Yo, thanks for dropping by, Yak. I appreciate it. What's up, Jets? I'm doing good. I stayed up until like 5 a.m. last night, so I kind of woke up a little bit later. I woke up around like 10 today, so I felt a little bit lazy. Am I uploading this? Yeah, I will likely upload this so that I can get my thoughts out on the chapter because if you watch the live reaction, I did enjoy the chapter, so for the culture of going against the drag down, I'll probably say the things I liked, didn't like about the chapter, and then give my thoughts on where I think things are going. Because you guys know that I'm not going to be doing formal reviews, at least for the foreseeable future. So this would probably be the only way outside of making regular videos to put my thoughts out there. Not that it particularly matters that much anymore, but yeah. Yeah, thanks. What? Yo, RMJN. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, Alexander? Glam. Veroni. Hey, Veroni. I wrote that response you were talking to me about the other day. What's up, Mo? No problem, Mo. Thanks for just congratulating me in general. Greetings from Germany. Yo, what's up to my German boys? You better make the most of it before Drit starts work. That's right. Next Monday, 8 a.m. What's the opposite of a defecation? Praise. Unbridled praise. That's what Mauler would do. Chapter was more of a 7 than a 9. I would say, yeah, I would think so. It depends on what your measurements are. I didn't give what I thought the overall rating of the chapter was in Braga's stream, but I said it in here. A lot of people I saw gave it 10s and 9s. I guess I have a different evaluation. I like the chapter and I thought it was good. I would say that it's an 8, maybe a 7.5 if you want to get really nitpicky about it. Not even nitpicky, if you want to point out some of the flaws or things that could have been better. But I don't know. For me, 10 out of 10 chapters. Can you hear her? Snickers. Snickers. I don't know if you can hear her or not. I might have to let her in. Did I read the chapter already? Yeah, I read it last night. Door open for you. Yo, thanks for the $10, Usopp. I appreciate it. Liking the facial hair. It's the only thing I can grow at this point. Do you think this stuff will continue next chapter, or will we head into Act 3? This is actually a pretty good question. Originally, I thought that Oda wouldn't give us more than one chapter of this, but Laz gave me some hope. So he said that if you're gonna go following by the formulas of how it was the last time for 925, Act 2 actually started in 925. And that did not happen for Act 3 in this chapter, which you would assume is kind of the in-between. perhaps we will get another chapter of this because, and I was talking to people, I think if you could say anything, that the ending of this chapter actually kind of seemed pretty sudden. Like it was, I don't know, for me, it might be just the layout of the panels. Like I'm normally attuned to Oda doing it in a certain way, shape, or form. But it kind of felt like abrupt to me. I don't think it's finished. It did skim through a lot of stuff, so I mean that's Oda's off screen. You know what I'm saying? But I would really like if we got another chapter of this because we won't have the time to get back to it later on. And I don't know how many days the Fire Festival is going to have. So we might not have another chance of doing this before like the final fight showdown, depending upon how we think Wano is going to continue from this point on. Okay, you can actually see her. She's happy now. She can see me. She knows where I am, so she won't be meowing as much. She's still gonna come over here and meow. How old am I? I am 25. Dritz, dude, what happened to Sabo? A good question. Sabo's obviously not dead. And I don't think people should be arguing on the fact that Sabo is dead because it's one of those aspects that is so obvious that it's not true. And that even if Oda were to like actually go through with it, I don't think many people would actually care because Sabo was recently reintroduced into the series within Dressrosa, and we haven't had any time to get to know him or readjust to what he is currently like, because right now he's basically just Ace 2.0 with less personality. So I think that for Sabo to get the justice he deserves, we need to spend more time with his motivations, his current feelings in the world government, his passions, even his dream about writing a book, you know, sailing around the world, writing a book of what he saw. So there's still more to Sabo before you have to go to actually go through to kill him. Now, is he injured or captured? I think he got out fine. I think he got out, honestly. It's probably gotten to a dicey situation where he needed to be saved by someone. And I think that someone at Reverie likely saved him. Could be Bonnie, could be another influence, could be a celestial dragon even. It could be one of the other kingdoms that came along. We didn't get to see anything from the Dressrosa reaction during this chapter. And a lot of the commanders, we didn't get to see what happened with them. There was no information on the commander. It was just focused on Sabo. So, not sure what happened. Oda's playing this game with Big News Morgans where it can go in multiple directions. He's really playing the fake news section. Title of the chapter is appropriate because a lot of things could happen. Sabo is with Vivi. Yeah, I could see that. I'm not sure how that would go though, because if anything, Vivi would need to be saved by Sabo, and I don't know what Sabo's motivation would be for saving Vivi outside of him randomly finding out that she knows Luffy. So, I don't know where that plotline would go. Yo, what's up, Isaiah? I give this chapter a 7 or 8 out of 10. Wasn't the greatest chapter, but had great moments. Yeah, I would say that's actually a fair summation of the chapter. This chapter is something that's, in the context of what the event surrounding Reverie is, Oda's current writing style fits this better than what he's trying to do in Wano, I would say. Because he is skipping over a lot of things and just getting to the information that's hype. But in world building chapters, where you're actually going across the entire span of the world, this isn't that bad of a thing to do. There could have been a few more details. I would say that a couple extra panels here and there would have been better. I'm not sure if Garp deserved 3 full pages, and if Big News Morgans deserved 3 full pages over a lot of the Shichibukai. Might have been better off having a few more panels of them saying some things to give more hype to it. But this is one of those chapters that I think people are really excited for because there's like the ideas of what are going to happen in the future. But standing on its own, it's just a solid, good chapter. It's more the ideas that are to come than anything. And the execution, I think, was moderate. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think it was bad. I think this chapter stands out differently from a lot of other chapters because as opposed to Wano, where you're trying to build a cohesive narrative and storyline. Whenever you go out into the outside world, it's not like you're starting fresh from a new arc. You're kind of picking up pieces here and there, so it doesn't feel as intrusive into the narrative. Um, Although it would be interesting because I was going to compare this to like the Griffith chapters in Berserk, where we oftentimes spend 3 to 6 and some, I think maybe even a few times even longer than 6 chapters with Griffith's party in Berserk to get a full comprehension of what's going on in the outside world. I think Oda could probably do that here with this Reverie and Warlord stuff. I think it would be better suited to give the full context and hype towards that situation instead of just getting to the next event. So we'll see. This is kind of a chapter that how we view it in the future is dependent upon how Oda keeps the promises that he's made with this chapter. So we'll see. Anyone ever notice how damn accurate just predictions are when he's about to read the chapter? Just this man literally predicted 8% of the chapter. Well, I don't think this chapter was that hard to predict. I think if you thought back to chapter 925, that you could fabricate plot points. Some of it was just what I wanted. It just happened to be true. Chapter's execution was bad. Bad? How would you make the argument that the execution was bad, Doctor? I'm not saying I disagree, it just depends. Just you think Aokiji is part of the sword unit? I think Brago brought up a good point, where I think that it's very, very arguable that Aokiji would be the head and leader of the entire organization. So yeah, I think Aokiji's likely part of that. It makes the most sense. If Drake's going to infiltrate one Yonko, then why would you not have more people infiltrate other Yonkos? And Blackbeard is definitely a greater threat. So that makes lots of sense to me. Just, dude, how is Doflamingo finding out about all of this stuff with the Reverie ending a week ago? Have we gone ahead a full 2 weeks? Well, we're still where we are currently in the story. So if you fast forward back to where we are now, we're just right before the Fire Festival. We basically just went back in time to give you a summation of all of the events. How is Dofi finding out about stuff? He likely has connections. There are people probably just giving him newspaper. I don't know why. I don't know what utility that has. Outside of like, if Oda's only doing it just so he could put in a panel of Dofi going interesting, then it's not so good. But if there is another tied to it where Dofi has a connection here and there because of his Celestial Dragon pass and he's just getting special privileges because of that, then it'd be a different matter. But we'll have to see. Yo, what's up, Laz? It's how much of a god was Mihawk this chapter. My man wanted all the smoke. I mean, Mihawk is my second favorite character as of right now, so I was very happy to see him again. And this is what I want for the future, because this is kind of my concern that I have, at least moving into the future of One Piece, where we have all of these top tier characters. I think that at some point in time, before like the characters we know are going to be defeated become defeated, they have to have some current feats put into their name so that there's some context around their character. Because outside of us getting the past of Shanks having fought Mihawk, we don't have a whole lot of accomplishments to put onto Mihawk currently. So before Zoro defeats Mihawk, I think Mihawk has to make some noise, and you should at least have him do something incredibly impressive to showcase how much of a powerhouse he is, so that puts into context what Zoro's actually aiming for. And I think that's the reason why there was no one of note sent against Mihawk, because at least with like Kobe and Hancock, you can make up a few theories on why you would do this, and basically a fodder dude was sent after Buggy. I don't think there was anyone strong enough that they were willing to dispose of to send after Mihawk to risk doing that while leaving their headquarters exposed. And Mihawk went around the world prior to him being a Shichibukai, and he was completely fine by himself. So I'm not particularly worried about him unless multiple strong people go after him. So I think Mihawk, like, let's say for instance, this is an idea that's been going around, and I proposed this in Brago's stream. If Fujitora is the person who wants to dismantle the warlords, then maybe it would be thematically fitting for him to go after them. So if you could have some clashes between Mihawk and Fujitora, where I don't think Fujitora is like end game, like at the top tier material. Um, have Mihawk, put in some work. Same with Boa. So Boa, the situation with Boa is interesting because I was in a stream last night in the after stream with Brago and the boys, and then Theory came in, which he was at the end of the stream, and he thought that the purpose of Kobe going to Amazon Lily was that he would eventually find out that Boa was friends with Luffy, and then he would help Boa, which seems to make sense. Because the alternative to that is that Boa either gets defeated and captured by Kobe, and then likely her past as a Celestial Dragon slave gets revealed, and she is returned back to the Celestial Dragons, which I actually like that idea a lot. Because there aren't that many places you can take Boa's character. You either explore more her current fear in her past of being a slave and have that affect her now and see how she copes with that as a character to build her up again, or two, you would just explore like a romance route with Luffy, because there's really not much more you can do there. So on paper, and also Boa right now, if she doesn't get help, she is going to be defeated at some point in time, because Boa has the disadvantage of being a ruler. Mihawk is by himself, solo, doing whatever the fuck he wants to do, and that's what he's been doing for years. Boa has an entire country of people that she needs to manage, and she's on the Calm Belt. The only thing the Navy would literally have to do is just sit outside of the island and wait for them to go out to supplies. Like, it would be like, what's the wartime? What's the thing that happens when countries like annex other countries' trade routes? I forget what it's called, but that's basically what they would have to do to Amazon Lily, and they would just eventually win, because then Boa would have to come out and fight them. Boa is not capable of moving the entire country of the Amazon Lily people, and it's only a matter of time before she's defeated anyway. So she either gets help or she gets defeated here. And the reason I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence about that, I would like Boa to be captured for her character, but at the same point in time, I think that Boa, of all people, deserves some respect and at least some hype to her name. Because as of right now, I mean, Smoothie is like a disgrace to the entire series. Boa has the only hopes of being a strong, competent, and beautiful woman, which we have not had yet in the series. We have not had that combination of strong, fights for herself, and then beauty in the same sentence. And she has Conqueror's Haki. So I would, just much like how I would give Mihawk a W to set him up, I would also have Boa get a W as well at some point in time, so that if she were to be defeated, it kind of seems like she's being chased around the world and then she's eventually caught. But we'll see. I would not like the idea of Kobe defeating Mihawk. Also, I have baby carrots. I got a plate full of baby carrots here. Do I think Kizaru is underrated? I think he's the strongest of the admirals. I think it is a known fact that Akainu is the strongest, and I don't think there's any debate you can put up against that. Now, as for the admirals below that, you can make the case that Kizaru is the next strongest. Sure. Big Mom not a beauty? No. What if the government gets control of Pluton? So I've heard ideas that Teach is after Pluton, and at first I questioned, why? How does he even know what Pluton is? But you could at least say that, maybe he has some secret information, so he's known about it all along. I don't know why he wouldn't have gone after it before. Why wait until now to do it? But what's the purpose of doing that? But Pluton needs to fall into enemy hands at some point in time. And I think it will fall into the Marines' hands rather than Blackbeard. I think it's more fitting for the Marines to get a hold of Pluton than anything else, because the entire Pluton thing goes along with like the end destiny of the series, where Pluton will be used. You know, there'll be the counter Pluton, which is the Sunny likely, versus Pluton, and it'll need to be defeated. I don't think that fits with Blackbeard's persona. At least the way I currently headcanon the series. I could be wrong. It just depends. As far as what he's after, I don't think he's after the Warlords. Something that Froob mentioned in the BDA chat is that whenever we saw Blackbeard, it was before any of the Warlord stuff was even talked to in the chapter, and this was right after Sabo. But as far as like, because like Blackbeard was referring to it. It is kind of like an object, a person, a thing, not a group of people. I don't think him going after the Warlords even does anything, because he would just have to defeat them, in a sense. I don't think he would be able to recruit any of them. There's only 4. You have Weevil, Boa, Hancock, and then Buggy. And he would have to kill 2 of those people, and I doubt Weevil would join either, because Weevil wants to kill Blackbeard. So I don't think it's the Warlords either. It could be. We'll see. But the idea was also proposed that he's after the Mera Mera no Mi, which he was after before when he sent Burgess to Dressrosa. And he is looking for powerful fruits, but is the Mera Mera so important that it requires Blackbeard in person to go get it? Like, why is it so important? I mean, it's a top tier fruit because it's a Logia, but I don't know. Maybe. I'm on the fence about him. Different translations. Blackbeard says there. We'll have to look for the Viz then, Sage. I'm not sure. It depends on what the exact diction of Blackbeard's sentences that determines what I think. So we'll see. Kobe and Bo will be friends because of the Luffy connection. It's a possibility. It's a possibility, yeah. Speak about Kobe. So I don't think Kobe's going to defeat Boa. I don't think there might be a clash, but I don't think Kobe is going to defeat and then actually capture Boa. I just have a hard time seeing it. I mean, part of it is because I'm biased. I would absolutely hate if Boa's only time fighting in the entire series is copying an L against Kobe, because then I don't know. I would not be impressed. If Kobe winning, I would not be impressed, and if Boa loses, I would be disappointed, because there was build up for nothing for her, essentially. We'll see. It depends on. I'll reserve my judgment for the Boa stuff and Kobe until I see what actually happens with it. Also, point out that the manga stream says there were casualties instead of a single death. I mean, you can take whatever side you want to, Junkyard. I would say, on average, Giant Minis is more accurate to the original translation, but we'll see. Did you talk about what's going on with Sabo? I've hinted at it, Laz. So with Sabo, I mean, I think there are a few ideas that most people are going to lean towards. No one's going to believe that he's dead. Not going to happen. He's either captured or has been saved or even betrayed. I know people were thinking about like the Karasu betraying them idea, because he looks like he's part of Kaido's crew. Remember what Sawyer was talking about that? So I think either he was betrayed or got saved. And we'll find out later. I think Sabo is either saved by another party or he got involved into another party or he's helping them. Sabo being captured right now, I don't think it really accomplishes much. Like, if we did a second rescue arc, I don't see how it would really play out with where we currently are. I think it actually just I think it gets in the way of what's currently going on in the series. And I also think that it would be a bit too much, because I don't know. I just can't see it happening. It could happen. I don't think so. Yo, see you, JDB. It's what if the sword unit is Kuzan's secret squad? I actually totally agree with that, Sage. I think that makes a lot of common sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. I totally agree with that. Mihawk is so badass. Facts. Facts. What's my rating of the chapter? I would probably say an 8. I would probably give this chapter an 8. Maybe a 7.5 if I were to really, really look at it. 7.5 to an 8. I don't think it's higher than that, though. It was a good chapter, though. I liked it. Chris, what do you think about someone in Wano having Toki's fruit, and that is why Orochi is getting so much accurate information about the Alliance? I don't think there is a precedent for that. And I also know how that would necessarily make sense because I don't really know how that would make sense, actually. Unless Toki's fruit, you can just divine the future, and it's not just Toki's like observation Haki, it's actually with the fruit, then okay. But I think the more you include Toki's fruit into the narrative, the more problems you're going to run into, because you're going to run into instances where all of your problems could have been solved if you had just done this to begin with, and there's like no defense for it. So the more the fruit's out of the series, the better it is, I think. Sabo could have saved Vivi. Yeah, Sabo could have saved Vivi. It's very, very possible. I also think that is something you could lean towards as well, because obviously Emu wanted to get rid of, was trying to get rid of Vivi. They didn't say if Cobra died or not, so I'm not necessarily sure what happened to Alabasta. I would have assumed that they got annexed and that them being, or an assassination attempt, I think the assassination attempt might have been the world government trying to assassinate Alabasta royalty, and that since Sabo was there, the blame got placed onto them so they could cover it up. If anything, I could see that happening. Maybe Sabo ended up saving Vivi, but Bonnie's also there too, so. Yeah, we have to wait for the Viz God Hand. We have to wait for the Viz. What about the fact that Drake is the captain of said unit, Dritz? I don't think Kuzan would operate at a lower level than Drake. Well, I mean, it depends on what the ranking of it's like. You make a good point, Jay, where the captain, you would assume, is it captain of a crew where he is the de facto head, or is it captain in rank? And there's like admiral rank. I don't know. If Drake is the actual leader of the unit, then I mean, it's still cool that Drake's a part of that, but only Drake and Kobe being a part of that unit, essentially. It seems kind of weird because they seem to be like the opposite version of CP0, where CP0 is the shield, they're the sword. If that was like the pinnacle of their strength, I would kind of be disappointed in a sense, but I could see it making sense. Its next chapter, do you reckon we get the admirals planning their move and Green Bull revealed? I hope we get something more along with this storyline, Stranger, because I think it definitely needs to be explained more. It will depend on how Oda handles it from here. I think Oda should spend more time with this to get this thing going, to give us more context about what's going on, so that we can actually see the inner workings between each party and what they're trying to do. I think if he goes back to the formula of, we get this one chapter, then we go through the entirety of the third act of Wano, and then we get like another chapter where all of these events happen, but we didn't get to see it, it might not work so well. Because I think Oda is, with this chapter, I think it kind of works well if you're like off screen some stuff, but your off screens are only as good as what you supplement them with, and what you, if you can fulfill your promises. So there are a lot of promises of hype and interactions with the warlords, the admirals and stuff. If you off screen all of that, then you kind of fall flat from what you are trying to set up. So I think it's up to Oda to determine where he wants to go from here. Off screening literally everything is not the move, in my opinion. Not the move. Garp is the biggest trash character in One Piece. I'm not gonna lie, Garp has been playing this role of a diplomat a bit too much, I think. So I would really like to see. Well, it depends what happens in the future. I'm not sure if like Garp is just doing this just to be professional or if he actually gives a shit. But Garp not caring about Luffy being the fifth emperor despite Ace dying. Him not mentioning anything about Sabo despite the fact that he's known Sabo for a while. I think we need more time with Garp. I think we need more time with Garp. Garp is one of my personal favorite characters. Um, so I think we need to see more time about Garp's where Garp is mentally at right now. But I think his part of the chapter in this chapter is a little bit weak. But aside from that, is Kobe's title of being a rear admiral only a title for said secret organization of Sword, and he holds a different official Navy rank? Let me go and check that again. What was the page for Kobe? Well, Drake says Secret Special Forces. Wait, Kobe is a member of the Sword unit, so I don't know. The rankings are kind of iffy. I'm not incredibly knowledgeable on them. Do I think Zoro is close to Mihawk level with Emma? No, I think Zoro is still leaps and bounds away from even touching Mihawk's feet. But I think the Marines and GG have different interests. GG. GG. Is that Gorosei? You're supposed to what's GG? Am I being stupid here? People are saying Sabo is dead because he was facing Emu. No, not likely. Oh, speaking of Sabo though, um at least in the Discord, it's actually been pretty fun that uh Dragon is getting slandered. I don't really know what's up with Dragon. So the Revolutionary Army so far has been kind of a flop in my eyes. I don't think they've really accomplished much, and they haven't proven themselves to be a worthy opponent for the world government to be taken seriously. And now we have all this drama with Sabo. And then Dragon didn't even go for his own declaration of war to the world government. And he's just kind of chilling back like, oh, we gotta find out what the truth is. I think in order for us to take the revolutionaries seriously, that Dragon needs to showcase exactly what makes him the most dangerous man in the world. And hopefully, Dragon, as he said, figuring out the facts of the situation leads to him having a bit more shine in the series because, as it stands so far, from my perspective, Dragon is a man that is set up to fail because his goal directly gets in the way of Luffy accomplishing his destiny. So I think we need to spend as much time with Dragon as possible to flesh him out, much like how we need more time with Emu so that Emu would be a good villain. I think Dragon, we need to spend more time with Dragon because right now he's not it. So I think Dragon needs to have some respect put on his name, and I want him to go ham. Also, Ohara, I see you in the chat, man. What's up, dude? How have you been? Are we still down for the podcast on Sunday? I don't know why Dragon didn't go to Reverie. I don't know what the justification is for that. Because he's going for a declaration of war. If Dragon's so deeply involved in this, I don't know why you wouldn't go yourself also to just make sure it goes through. If he trusted Sabo enough to get it done, and if he had gone himself, then I don't know. I don't know why he didn't go. Maybe there's some reason I don't understand that he couldn't go. But I think Aokiji would be part of the sword organization. I do. I think that's a good idea. Dragon off screen by Emu. I think Dragon's destiny is to essentially die. Because the revolutionaries are set up to be a failure. They can't succeed in their goal. So they're gonna have to take some W's before they take the L's. And right now they're just taking L's. So hopefully, they do something. You know what I'm saying? All right, great, Ohara. Look forward to it. I actually enjoyed the chapter, so I won't be as much of a drag down. Also, it just looks weird from Dragon's perspective that, normally whenever you're dealing with top tier people, even if things go wrong, they still have this aura of confidence around them where they're not particularly concerned. Whereas Dragon's just like, oh shit, you know? So we'll see if that's reversed on him. Did Kobe do something really strong in the Reverie so he got promoted? So my honest opinions on this, I saw a few other questions asking on, what did Kobe do to get promoted? I don't think he did anything. I think this is something that Oda has to do in order to justify. Like I don't agree with it, but I think Oda is just fabricating the growth rate of certain individuals so that by the end of the series they meet where they're supposed to be. Um, Same like for Smoker, like Smoker has been a big disappointment, and I'm a huge Smoker fan. He's one of my favorite characters in the series. But I think the next time we see Smoker, he's going to be stronger for virtually no reason. Um, bring him more up to par with what we're currently doing. So I think Kobe might be the same. I think Kobe got promoted for no ascertainable feat, and that I think that's part of the process of getting him to that admiral level. And I think that the Boa stuff may be part of his legacy that it's actually starting to grow now. What was Wapol going to tell Morgans? It's hard to say what Wapol's going to tell Morgans. Wapol has a contentious relationship with Alabasta, so maybe he saw something going down with the Vivi stuff and gave clarification, or he's snitching. Wapol isn't a good guy, so but the only character connections with Wapol are related to Alabasta, so that's what I would make my guesses. It's been 956 chapters. We still haven't seen Mihawk, Shanks, or Dragon in full action. I mean, yeah, I think that's actually a valid complaint, which is why I think that it's absolutely crucial, which I stated earlier in the stream, that Oda deliver on these top tiers being powerful. And the only way you could do that is by making them have ascertainable feats within the current narrative. They can't live off of their past hype. Because, like, Mihawk can't go down as the world's greatest swordsman just based off of the fact that in the past he had duels with Shanks and beat people we don't know who they are. He needs more stuff grounded in reality of what we're reading. So that's what I expect Oda to do, because I think that is the smart thing to do in the logical path. So all that's left is for us to wait to see if that would occur. Lad says Dragon could be acting that way if Morgan's reported on Sabo killing Cobra, which goes against Dragon, who we know as a liberator. Yeah, but at the same time, lads, like that could be true. But is that something that everyone else would be like, so stressed out about? Because I think they would just be like, yeah, this is obviously just like, whatever. Like they just wouldn't believe it. Would would Koala really be crying and saying, Sabo, this can't be true? Ah! If they just got some news that Sabo assassinated Vivi? I mean, if so, then I think it's probably overplayed a little bit. So death, like fake news with the death, seems to be the optimal. It just seems to make the most sense. It could be that though. We have seen One Piece characters cry over nothing before, so it could happen again. Sage says, I'll be pissed as all hell if Kobe and company can touch Boa. I'm gonna be pissed as hell, aren't I? I hope not. I hope not, Sage. Boa is like my last bastion of hope in this series for Oda doing strong, beautiful women. So I really want him to deliver on that. I want him to prove me wrong. He can do it. So some people say that Fujitora isn't a swordsman because he has a fruit. Oh, he's a swordsman. Arthur mentioned the possibility that Kobe's previous rank mentioned in the Fifth Emperor chapter might have been a typo. Even in the Viz? What do I think Blackbeard wants? Pluton, Sabos Fruit, Warlords. It all depends on the sentence. So translating from Japanese to English is a very, very iffy situation whenever you're talking about like, the non subject, like the meats, like not the meat, like the fillings between the sentences where it's like it, they, and he and she are incredibly important to defining what a theory is. So if Blackbeard had said it, then it's a thing, like Pluton or Saba's fruit. If he says they, it's a group of individuals or maybe one or more. And that would be like the warlords. So I think we have to wait to see what Steven translates the situation as before I make my point, because it's hard to say because there's conflicting opinions. Manga Stream has it as they, Jai Minis has it as it. So there's no like consensus for me to reach a conclusion on. Koala's face doesn't give off the reaction that he died, but that's just how I took it. She'd be ugly face crying if that were true. Valid point, lads. Valid point. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see it that way. That's fine. Do you think Vegapunk will make his appearance in the next few chapters in another Reverie flashback to show off the Warlord's replacements? I don't think so. I think Vegapunk is going to be revealed whenever he eventually meets the Straw Hats, because we know that's a plot point that's going to happen eventually because Oda said it would. Because he said that the Straw Hats would learn the secrets of Devil Fruits because Vegapunk is going to tell them. So I imagine that Vegapunk's reveal would be saved until then. I could be wrong though. What do you think are the odds of the Marines capturing even one of the warlords? Boa seems to. Oddly enough, I think Boa is the most likely option because it's the Boa out of all of the warlords is the only one who, if captured, has a character route that can happen with her. If Buggy gets captured, it's just for memes, and he's already been sent to Impel Down before. So I don't think Buggy's going to be captured. Boa is really the only person that it seems almost like it's a foregone conclusion that she will be captured simply because she has a country. Everyone else just has crews, so they can be on the move. I mean, that's why Boa needed to be a warlord to begin with, is because without, I mean, they're all pirates. Without her having the trust of the world government, they would just come and take out their island. So yeah. Sage, do you see Snickers? Oh my god, my chair is squeaky as fuck, dude. Arter suggested that the sword might be kept hidden from the admirals like Kizaru or even the fleet admiral Akainu, and the reason for that being that they're a rogue group with different ideologies. Yeah, but then how would they have the power to like have so many people? Because like Kobe was talking about having like organizing large groups of men, unless there was entire organizations that they didn't even know about. I don't know. The Marine Swords being the new Navy, like the split. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could see where that could go. Yeah, sure. Why not? Do you think Dragon has the highest bounty because the government blames him for the things he has not done? I think that Dragon, it would be dope if Dragon had the highest bounty, but it's not confirmed that he does. The official translation, as far as I'm aware, is that Dragon is the world's most dangerous man. And things like that. Like the world's worst criminals. It's something to that degree. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he has the highest bounty, because Sabo's bounty is like dirt cheap. It's 602 million. For the right hand man of the world's most dangerous criminal, you would imagine that his right hand man would have a higher bounty. And also, Fisher Tiger was the world's worst criminal. That was his title after he went to marry Joa. and successfully infiltrated it by himself and then freed tons of prisoners, which Sabo and the revolutionaries couldn't even do with like 5 people, by the way. Fisher Tiger did it by himself, and Fisher Tiger had like a bounty of like 300 million. So, I Dragon should be a top tier by every law that exists within the universe, so he should have a really high bounty, but I don't think it's mandatory for him to have the highest. What if Boa doesn't get captured, but her sisters do? I mean, that would be her sisters get captured. I mean, yeah, that's possible. Maybe she makes her way to Luffy and then like she travels with Luffy's group until they can fit. But I don't know. Luffy would have to take on Mary Joa to get him back. I don't see that happening until end of the series. We'll see. Yeah, that'd be a good plot point. Good plot point. That would bring Boa into the crew momentarily, and I would actually like that. So I approve of that theory. Is a Buster Call in Alabasta possible in your opinion, given that Emu held Vivi's picture? It's certainly possible, although I think that if Oda's just going for straight savagery, then he could do that. But I think it would be much more beneficial for the world government to just get rid of the Alabasta royalty and then replace them with one of their own. Then they could just still maintain Alabasta as a controllable country. So that's what I would do at least. What is this? 400 something. What is that? Is that yen? Himanshu Tandon with the is that 400 yen? Thoughts on Crocodile's character in the upcoming story? Could he go for Pluton again and actually get it this time? I think if there's going to be anything, Himanshu, that I think Crocodile should be involved with the plotline that he was originally introduced with, which is the reveal of Pluton. We should find out where Crocodile even learned this information from, so I think that's a good idea. I'm not sure how valid it is, because at this point, I think a lot of the old villains are just going to be plot devices to help Luffy's crew at the end of the story. And I don't know how that would correlate with Crocodile and Pluton. Maybe, I don't know how that would correlate. But yeah, that makes sense, though. It does make sense. That's rupees? Really? That symbol is, oh, that's a dope symbol. Could it be a thing that there's a sword member in every Yonko crew? For the Yonko crews that basically just accept everyone and everything, it's a possibility. Although I think you would only put sword members in people that you prioritize. Like, I don't think there's a sword member in Shanks' crew because I don't think Shanks just accepts everyone out of the blue. Plus Shanks has a relationship with the Gorosei. I don't know if it's necessary. Kaido and Blackbeard seem reasonable to have one. I don't know if Big Mom matters. Big Mom doesn't do anything, so having a sword member in Big Mom's crew doesn't really. I don't know if it really progresses anything because Big Mom doesn't do anything. I think Dragon became the world's most wanted man the day after Roger was executed. No, I don't think so, because it was after Roger's execution, I think, that Dragon even made the revolutionaries. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was close around Roger's death. I think the revolutionaries were even made to begin with, but maybe he did something big. It could be possible. We need some more Dragon hype. That's $7 CAD. Oh. Hopefully Hancock will get a bigger role closer to the end. I'm cautiously optimistic about Hancock because, as I said earlier, there's only really 2 ways you can even take her character, and there's literally no other way to take it that would be relevant. So I'm hoping Oda really follows through on Hancock because she has been dominated by her love for Luffy gag. I would really like to see just some serious Ice Queen Boa action, you know what I'm saying? Get Boa's character involved, include her past. It's rupee Indian currency, and yeah, it's dope. It's not much though, more like $5 to $6. Yo, that's fucking Subway sandwiches, dude. Thank you very much. There was definitely a death at Reverie who died. I mean, Cobra still seems like a pretty cool option. I don't think Vivi died. I know some people are like saying, you know, what if Vivi died? That would be dope. I think it's been too set up for Cobra to be the person to die. It would be like um a good altercation of expectations, but I don't think Oda's going to follow through with that. I think Cobra's probably the one that died, if anything. Hmm. Baby carrots. Yo, what's up, son? Yo, Dritz. I see people saying that Mihawk is joining Shanks' crew. I surely don't. What are your thoughts? So, I think people who believe that that Mihawk is going to join Shanks' crew don't really understand Mihawk's character at all. I would be absolutely shocked if Mihawk even went under Shanks at all. Mihawk was a pirate before he became a warlord, and he was still by himself, and he wasn't in a crew. And he was completely fine. And he was wanted by the world then. I think it would go against Mihawk's character to even go under Shanks for some form of protection because he's never cared about himself to begin with. He travels around the world as a one-man show in a boat. In a single boat just fucking around. I don't think it would make sense for him to go under Shanks. I don't think Mihawk's concerned about his well-being at all. And I think this chapter goes to show you that Mihawk's actually looking forward to it rather than saying, I need to find some place to hide. So, no. I don't think it makes sense. Any thoughts on Vivi getting outed as a Straw Hat? I mean, her connection with Luffy, like, how would that even be revealed? I don't even know how that would come to light unless she mentions it herself. Dritz, they realistically need to send two admirals or a Kainu to possibly get Shanks, and even then a Kainu won't be coming out with both arms. Right, precisely. Dritz, there were no deaths according to Garbs, where he implied there was no blood spilled. Let me go ahead and double check that because I want to see if you're correct. Do what Garp said in the Jaimene's translation is that as long as no blood is spilled, I'd normally count it as a peaceful event, referring to the Reverie Gathering. But then Garp says this time is different. So I think the implication is the other way around. I think there was something that happened. Morgan's mentioned assassination attempt, so I think Vivi is alive. Yeah, I think Vivi's alive. I think that if Vivi died off screen, it wouldn't be a powerful death, and I think it wouldn't really have much meaning. Cobra, on the other hand, is someone that I think he doesn't have a very strong connection to the Straw Hat, so having him die would be something you would use for Vivi's character, and it would be acceptable in a sense. Although I still think you would need to show how it happened instead of just like leaving it contextless for the rest of time. But yeah, I think Vivi's fine. My queen Sage says, "Do you think it's possible Balkan was a whole hoe and slept with someone else on the Rocks crew, and thinks it was Whitebeard's kid because of the mustache, but it was really someone?" It's One Piece, Sage, so I'm sure anything can happen. But my instinct is no. Yo, Braga, what's up? How's work today, dude? How long did it take you to do that video, by the way, Brago? You said you had to get up at 7, and like by the time we left the call, it was like 4 where you were. Dritz, can you leave this stream up on YouTube? Living in England means I really don't have them. Yeah, I can leave the stream up, no problem. Yeah. What do you think Mihawk's bounty will be after this battle with the Marines? See, like, while I would be absolutely hyped beyond belief that the warlords would be getting new bounties, I'm not sure if we're going to learn about them right away. If Mihawk had a bounty, I think it would have to be at least 1 billion, at the very least. Dritz Alabasta has something to do with ancient weapons and poneglyphs, and the Nefeltari are celestials. I think Vivi might have been targeted. Well, I mean, we can kind of surmise that I believe Southbird due to what Emus was holding her picture. So yeah, I would agree with that. Dritz, I feel Oda's only sending fodder to the warlords to hype up the warlords again, which isn't really good considering they are fodder. Yeah, I mean that is something Oda would do, but at least with Boa he sent Kobe. So at least it's a named character that is somewhat close to the fandom's heart. With Mihawk, I think Oda should have sacrificed somebody to Mihawk, honestly, just so that they can get completely wiped out. There are like, even if it's like a crappy vice admiral, send one of those like admiral candidates, like what's like the rabbit and girl or whatever, Momosagi. Send one of like the admiral candidates out to get Mihawk, and then have Mihawk absolutely like destroy them to hype up Mihawk. Because not only do we not care or give a shit about who these like admiral candidates are, they would be the perfect fodder hyping tool for someone like Mihawk. But I think Oda didn't want anyone to cop an L, so that's why he sent nobody after Mihawk right now. That's why there was like no one there. Hey, princess. Uh huh. Yeah. Niggas is up. Of all the warlords, which ones do you think will get captured? Only Boa. Yeah. I know. I know. I know. You want my legs? Snickers is on my legs now, so. How long she'll be there? We saw Stainless going for Buggy. At least one Vice Admiral is after each Warlord for sure. I mean, you would think that, yeah. You can do that to obviously above 1 billion, make a better guess. Well, so, here's the thing. Sabo's bounty was only 602 million. It was either 602 or 606, something like that, right? I don't know if I'm gonna have high hopes for Mihawk's bounty being like ridiculously high. I mean, for how strong I think Mihawk is, I think he should at least have a bounty as high as Luffy's right now. Like, cause like, there's no way I would accept like someone like Queen having a higher bounty than Mihawk. Fuck Queen. Did you look so damn satisfied with today's chapter? I'm glad to see you today. It's been a long time. Yo, what's up, Carlos? Yeah, I actually like the chapter. What a surprise, right? Mihawk gets defeated by 1,000 pacifists. My god. Stop disrespecting Momosagi in Shoton. I don't really think it's disrespect. I honestly don't. Snickers is shedding all over my pants right now. Crazy, I know. It's like I'm petting her. Queen got the bomber though. Yeah, Queen can go. Oh, fuck Queen. Oh, look at that. Look at her little face. Yeah. Been a while since you've been on stream, huh? Where are you going? I can't see the chat if you're standing there. Hey, get off those carrots. You're tough, huh? Yeah. She likes getting pet. Queen's bomber grade that anyone Mihawks is hacks. That's trying to tilt me. This is the best. I love you, Snickers. Snickers does all the love. Snickers has been very, very rowdy lately. Very, very rowdy. She won't shut up. I think Act 3 is going to start next chapter. I mean, it's a 50-50. I hope not, though. I hope not. I think we should continue more with this Warlord stuff. Hmm. It took a long time to eat, dude. Damn. Where do I think Morgans is headed? I don't know if he's going to a destination that we are aware of. Quality content, that's right. So it is either a kindness effort to have the Marines act outside the world government's jurisdiction, or the Marines acting on their own accordance with a common agenda. I would say that's a smart thing to say, Clyde. You're just laying down now. Act 3 will be Odin and Rock's flashbacks. Oda did say we would be getting the Odin stuff this year, so we got a few months left. So it should be sooner rather than later. Where was Shanks when things were heating up at the Reverie? He might have left as soon as he talked to the Gorosei. I had this headcanon, and obviously it's fake now, but like I just liked it because I'm edgy and I'm stupid. I I wanted Dragon to crash the Reverie during the part where Shanks was like meeting with, or during, like, let's say Shanks stayed for a couple of days with the Gorosei to talk to them. While Shanks was meeting with the Gorosei and Dragon crashed, and Shanks wanted to create some type of deal with the Gorosei, but they made a deal with him where he would have to go ahead and hold off Dragon for them to agree with him, because Dragon came and they want him to solve his problems for him. They don't have to deal with it. Then we would have Luffy's biological father, and then Luffy's like metaphorical mentor slash father figure slash male role model go at it. But I mean, that's just a wish list. It wouldn't have made much sense, but you know. Do I think Dragon's gonna finally make a move to save Sabo? I think Dragon needs to make a move. I think it's imperative that the revolutionaries prove why they're dangerous. President Garp, who has been dissatisfied with one government and didn't become an admiral because he doesn't like the politics, isn't being considered as a conspirator of Sword, but cool. I mean, we need to see more of Garp. Who cares about Odin? Give me Mihawk. The more Odin hype we get, it like indirectly hypes up Mihawk because Mihawk is definitely stronger than Odin or should be. If Odin without a black blade can scar or hurt Kaido, we don't know if he caused the scar necessarily. It could have been someone else. But if Odin was able to hurt Kaido and Mihawk has the strongest black blade in the world and is the world's greatest swordsman, then Mihawk's putting some hands on Kaido. So, you know what I'm saying? I think Luffy will pass on the Straw Hat. If Luffy does pass on the Straw Hat, it will be after he's become the Pirate King. I can't see it before that, though. I love how we saw Morgans take out someone because his fruit is just used for covering up his identity, but now we saw him throw hands. Yeah, I was not expecting Morgans to throw hands. That came as a shock to me. Um, yeah, it's weird. Cool though. I guess Morgans can throw hands with a. I said it was a CP0 member in my live reaction, but it's only Cypher Pole. We don't know what the number is, so it's just some dude. By the way, I think the lurking legend Oda talked about back then with the Rocks Pirates legend. He said that the legend is connected to Whitebeard. He knows Balkans and Whitebeard were on the same ship together. Well, yeah, I think that the best lurking legend would be like who the Rocks pirate captain was. Logically. What do I think about Makino neglecting her child? I don't necessarily think she was neglecting. I think all parents just kind of leave their children doing their own thing on the floor while they're like doing adult stuff. That's like parenting 101 at that point, you know? Was Morgans not afraid to make Luffy the Emperor because Morgans is low key Yonko level in strength? I don't know about that. I don't think so. So it's possible Mihawk never got tested by Wano's swordsman. It's possible. So you would imagine that through 45 chapters of Wano, that there would be some mention of people having been here before and like the world's strongest swordsman. But at this rate, I could if Mihawk ever chose to not come to Wano, I would understand because every swordsman of Wano has been underwhelming. If he's only going to places where there's a challenge, then I guess Wano might not be the place to go. But it still doesn't make much sense from a character motivation. If Mihawk was going to find people to test his strength, he would at least venture into Wano just to see if there was people there. If there's no Mihawk news in Wano, it's like a missed opportunity as far as I see it. Roger's gonna go crazy over Morgans. Yeah, Roger's gonna go crazy over Morgans for sure. What do you think about the Kobe versus Boa fights? I'm on the fence about it, Rocky. I'm on the fence about it. I want to see what the outcome is. Didn't the Viva card say that there are no secret swordsmen who could challenge Mihawk? I would have to get a double clarification on Mihawk's card by someone outside of Arthur just to get clarification on it. But Arthur did say that there is no secret hidden swordsman in the One Piece world who is stronger than Mihawk. That Mihawk is the de facto strongest. So take that for what you will. Arter has been wrong on translations before. So don't take it as itself. I would have to get another translation, and then compare it to each other. The Alabasta thing was probably under Imu's orders. Yeah, I would say so, Sen. What arc do you think is next in One Piece? So I think the next arc is going to be a combination of at least two arcs that Oda wanted to do, because I think Oda's getting into the territory where he's trying to end the series. And I think Oda has lost so far. I don't think Oda's ever going to do short arcs ever again. Which I think is a shame, but I don't think there's any room for short arcs left in the series. So I expect the next arc to be Elbaf combined with another arc that Oda wanted to do, at least one more arc. So if it is like Shanks shows up in Elbaf and meets Luffy or something like that, or Vegapunk or Emerald City, I expect Emerald City to show up at some point in time. It showing up in Elbaf would make the most sense to me, because I don't think it's going to be its own thing. But I think every arc, from the way Oda has been doing arcs so far, most of the big arcs have been combinations of other arcs. So I think that's going to continue. What if we see Mihawk and then a panel of the Diamond Knuckles? Shut up, Young. Do you think if Kobe puts up a fight, it's good for Kobe or bad for Boa? If Kobe puts up a fight and loses, it's great for Boa. If Kobe just beats Boa, I think it's bad for both, honestly. Yo, what's up, Brandon? Thoughts on Weevil's role in the future? I think he's going to be used as like something that brings in the Rocks Pirates. I still think he should be coming to Wano at some point in time. Something with Marco and him are going to be involved in Wano. Yeah, we're going to see Loki at some point in time. I don't think Loki's going to be a main antagonist, though. But I think it's a coincidence that Drake and Kobe both have an X on their face. What, do you think that's like a symbol showing that they're inside Sword or something? My headcanon is the Emerald City is with Vegapunk as a Wizard of Oz type of stuff. Okay, yeah, I can see that too. I can see that too. Whereas Perona, I think Perona's currently chasing after Blackbeard, and that she will eventually run into Blackbeard, and it's going to not gonna be good. What's up, Florian? Boa beating Kobe does nothing for her character. It does something for Oda. It proves that Oda can at least make a character that's a woman beat someone. We don't have a strong, beautiful character in the series yet. They're all damsels in distress, or they don't do anything. Because the only two strong female characters that we have that are even like you would put in a top 30 is like Smoothie, who doesn't do anything, and Boa. Both unproven and haven't done anything. And Boa's like way more important than Smoothie is in the larger context of the series. So I would rather give Boa, someone who has all three types of hockey, some feats than anything else. What do I say the chances of Marine showing up in Wano are now? 100%. 100%. I think Mihawk may meet up with Shanks. Yeah, I think Mihawk and Shanks are gonna cross paths. I don't think Mihawk's gonna go under Shanks though. Big Mom is not a female. She is not a beautiful, strong female. She is a strong, old, ugly woman. Suru is strong. We don't actually know if Suru is strong. She has nothing compared to her other cohorts like Garp and Sengoku, who have lots of portrayal behind them. Suru just has a laundry fruit. And Suru's also old. We don't have any current, strong, beautiful female characters. And competent. Why abolish the warlord system? Because the Marines are making a power move. Do I think if Boa gets captured, Luffy would go save her? It would depend on how Luffy learned about it, because if Boa gets captured, right? Would it be revealed that she was would they write in the news that she was a former slave and then sent back to the Celestial Dragons? Um, Someone mentioned earlier in the chat, and this might be a good idea too. If Boa's sisters got recaptured, but Boa somehow managed to escape, and then she went to go find Luffy as a means of seeking out help. Because then Boa would finally meet the crew, they would have interactions, and then they can go on their own journey to get her sisters back. I don't know. It's like, if Luffy learned about it, would he go after her, or would he have to hold his punches until the time was right? It's hard to say. Hard to say. Given Luffy, he might go after her right away. Big Mom used to be fine as fuck though. Used to. I said current. And Smoothie has done more harm than she's done good, and she will likely, in my opinion, never get a fight. There are no strong, current, competent female fighters in the series. Anyway, Bo versus Kobe's gonna be off screened. Yeah, probably. I really wish that would be showed though. I think something that I know Oda doesn't believe in showing fights, but I think Oda is severely underestimating the power and ability that showing those fights has on the fandom. You can't just keep off screening everything and then have everyone have one fight. I think that's something that a lot of authors kind of fall into, which I would consider a pitfall, which is the enemy is only the enemy like once, and they get their fight once, and there's no room to show what they're capable of before they do that. Like, you know how half of Luffy's villains, we find them in the arc we're in, and then they get defeated in that arc. It would be better if I think if Boa's abilities got showcased. Same with like all these strong characters: Dragon, Mihawk, Shanks. You don't see current Kobe stronger than Momonga? Yeah, where's this Momonga respect coming from? Ah, hair got stuck in my throat. Smooth not getting a fight in Wano? No. Smoothie's not getting an on-screen fight. She might be shown getting clashes. I think, and I will take my L if this happens. I will gladly take my L. I don't think Smoothie is getting a single on-screen full fight. She will probably get a couple clashes. I don't think the Big Mom Pirates are going to fight the Straw Hats. I think they're probably going to be used to just stall the Marines. I don't think Smoothie's going to get a fight. Just to do what are your thoughts, Dritz? I thought the chapter was good, dude. I thought it was a good chapter. Do you think Wano has no chance of being the final war-like scenario? I think that if Wano was the final war scenario stage, that it would go completely against everything that was set up at the end of Marineford by Whitebeard. Because Whitebeard's epic speech about One Piece existing was prefaced by the statement that one day the entire world would be turned upside down with war after someone found One Piece. So after someone finds One Piece, then they will fight. There'll be a huge war, which makes sense because it goes along with a manifest destiny that's correlated with finding the One Piece, learning the true history, and then deciding for yourself what to do with that knowledge. I think Wano is going to be a precursor to that. I don't think it's going to be the final war. Stussy has not proven herself to be strong. Monet got defeated by a look from Zoro. Boa not competent. I never said Boa wasn't competent. I said Boa is like the last bastion of hope for competent, strong female fighters that are beautiful in this series so far. What's up, Ruben? Because I hope on the ships that they send against Mihawk, Fujitora is in one of them. That would be hype as shit. I pray a Straw Hat dies. The only Straw Hat I could see dying outside of Luffy would be Usopp. He's the only one that would actually matter that much, in my opinion. That I see possible is dying. I don't think it's possible for Zoro to die. I don't think it's possible for Nami to die. And outside of Sanji and Usopp, none of the other Straw Hats matter. Like for that, if you're gonna choose one Straw Hat to do, you would not choose any of those other Straw Hats outside of the major Straw Hats. What's the greatest moment in One Piece? Whatever you want to be, dude. Your opinion. People underestimate Luffy all the time. Luffy, to this day, despite defeating commanders, is being underestimated by commanders. But yeah, Luffy has been a consistent underdog that has not had his title respected or his feats respected. Could Hiyori be secretly strong? Sure, I mean, why not? No evidence to say she is, though, but could be. Am I eating carrots next to Carrot being a traitor in Wano? Carrot, if here's the thing, I was saying this in Virgo's stream. If Carrot is the traitor of Wano, there has to be another traitor because otherwise it would logically not make any sense with the timeline. There has to be at least one more traitor if Carrot's a traitor. Do I think Jinbei could potentially bring allies? Yeah, I think so. Jinbei could probably bring, his crew. Uh, Jinbei and Germa could all show up. Because I think Germa will show up at some point in time, even though I kind of want it, kind of don't want it. I could see Germa showing up. Because if Jinbei shows up, then why wouldn't Germa? Do I think Momonosuke can do something huge? He seems so weak, but who knows? For Momonosuke's character, I hope he shines. I hope he does. I hope he does something great. I've seen the theory about Kainu's sword tattoo and possible relation to the Secret Order. I have not. That's interesting. I like that. Jerma. Yeah, Germa's kind of just like, but like they do have an army. And if Wano's going to be a all-encompassing world war, I don't know why Germa wouldn't be involved, considering it's like they were put into the same situation at the end of Whole Cake Island, where Big Mom basically had them cornered. So if Jinbei gets out because of whatever reason, then Germa has to get out as well, unless they were both captured. So they're kind of like two peas in a pot for me. If you include one, the other might have to be included unless they somehow got away by themselves and are just chilling until like the end of the series. But yeah. There doesn't need to be a traitor. We already know there's this is something the alliance has known since before getting Tawana, but hasn't done anything about. Is that they've been aware the entire time that there's been a traitor. They just don't care, I guess. Who do I think the traitor in Wano is? All of the theories seem like a cool idea. Conjuro, the monkey, that monkey guy from Zoe, um, whatever, even Carrot, cool, whatever. Honestly, it's like whoever the traitor is, unless it's someone huge like Shuten Maru or even Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, I'm not particularly invested because none of those other characters we care about. Like it's not like, oh my god, this character that we spend all this time with, that's the traitor. Um, at least with Shuten Maru and like Inuarashi has like his path of being tortured, and he's got the conflict with another character to show up. Shuten Maru would just be interesting because of his personality, but like, who cares about Conjuro? No one. Carrot, whatever. Little monkey guy from Zoe, okay, whatever. I'm not expecting the traitor thing to be some huge emotional payoff. Fujitora, Kobe, and Drake all have X scars. It's what is Fujitora's X scar over his eyes? I don't know, man. What if they know and act like they don't? Well, then they're certainly playing themselves then because they're even confused on how they've been found out while talking to one another. Unless they're playing like some 500 IQ where they're just saying that in front of people to make it seem like they don't know what's happening, even though they own nothing's even going according to plan. They only got their ass saved because Yasu happened to be there against all of their plans and saved the entire operation for them. So if they're acting secretly like they know who the traitor is, then they're doing everything humanly possible to be wrong. So it is what it is. Marco, yeah, Marco had a. I didn't get to see Marco's theory, but he had a theory about being about Conjura, right? Until you find out that Jinbei's the traitor. Jinbei being the traitor, I could never. That would literally shock me because Jinbei basically just went to prison and then pulled down for virtually forever until the war was over. Just because he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to betray Whitebeard. So that would be shocking. Yeah, someone just told me about that. Sen about Akainu being a part of Sword. Yo, give me some Akainu hype, dude. Give me that Magma D. Am I back? Am I back? It said it reconnected. Excellent. Excellent. Huzzah. But yeah, did you guys hear me talking about Mihawk? About how, like, I don't understand why he's even wanted to begin with, because he's just a swordsman going around just, like, challenging people. I don't know what part of that's considered piracy. But I guess nowadays, you don't really have to do much to be considered a pirate. I guess if you just, like, sail on the sea. What bad things has Mihawk actually done? I don't know. I don't think we'll ever find out. I think that's just something we just have to accept as fact, that Mihawk is he's just a pirate and that's the way it is. I mean, if anything, you would say that Mihawk's like a bounty hunter, because Zoro was a bounty hunter, and he was going around just, fighting people. And he was he wanted though. Did Zoro have a bounty prior to Luffy finding him, or is he just a bounty hunter? I don't think so. If he's a bounty hunter, it'd be weird if he had a bounty. I don't know. I'm getting lost on my own head. Because Mihawk says he finds weird to be the one getting chased. He for sure has done some bad stuff. I mean, I believe it. I just don't know what it is. As I said, I don't think we're going to find out. I think it's just one of those things I just accept happened, because I don't think we have the time to get an in-depth, this is how the legacy of Mihawk grew story. I'm just going to accept it for what it is. But I would like to know more because I like Mihawk. My guess is that Mihawk also challenged Marines and people from the world government whenever he wanted. Could be. I mean, I don't know if challenging people is like against the law though. Like if you both went into a consensual fight, unless Mihawk forced you to fight, I don't know if that would be like against the law. But whatever. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I think Aokiji's a part of Sword Sutsu. I think Emma is an end game sword for Zoro. I don't know. I don't think I've seen enough to deduce what my opinions are on that, Serene. I don't know. I have to see, because I'm not convinced about the Shushui stuff yet, because I know people think just like Shushui's going to stay in Wano, but so far no national treasure has remained in a country. They've all been given elsewhere. So the Tamati Baka box and all the treasure in the treasure room was given to the Straw Hats, and the Tamati Baka box was given to Big Mom. And now that Fishman Island doesn't have a national treasure anymore. Whenever the Straw Hats went to Zou, Wanda gave Nami the national treasure of Zou as a gift for saving them, which I think that's going to be important later on in the series, by the way. And now they don't have a national treasure. Maybe the clothes that Wanda got from Nami is the new national treasure. Who knows? But now they don't have a national treasure, so I don't know why that trend would be broken here. It's Garp back in the black suit. Dude, I gotta see some Garp action. Garp, honestly, is really, really hyped to me, because Garp is the only character so far in the series who has no devil fruit, who beats people by punching him in the face. No devil fruit, no weapon, just his fists, and he's like top tier. I gotta see this man beat someone's face in. Skypiea kept their treasure. They gave their treasure to the Shots. They didn't have a national treasure. And the bell got destroyed anyway. Luffy punched that shit out. What happened to Joy Boy? Joy Boy's doing his thing. He just moved to a new state. So I'm pretty sure he's just getting acclimated there. Character drying out. That was bad. I'd like to think that the clothes from Nami are the national treasure. I think they are, and I think that it might go along with some of my parallel headcanon ideas. It's scheming. Who would win? Wanji with the raid suit versus. I mean, Sanji's getting negatived by the Godhawk. Not even a chance in hell. What was the national treasure of Zoe? The rope poneglyph? If not, what? It was the dress that was given to Nami. Do I have. I don't need porn, do I?